Hello everybody, another video here for you today. This is Deep Dives number 3. How about that? 3 already.
Trey already.
3
Wow.
already. And of course with me is Zig, feeling much better.
Thank
Right?
you. Yes. Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Alrighty, and so let's just get right into it. We talk about deep stuff with Oak Island.
Deep dives.
That's right. Next episode, airing in 2 short days from now, 48 hours approximately. And it's called Harry's Situation. While a trip abroad makes old world connections to the new world on Oak Island, the team is thrilled when new evidence indicates that whoever was on Lot 5 was also deep in the money pit.
Yeah, well, they've been talking about that with the blue clay anyways, and the
Yep.
conglomerate
In
and
the
the
Lot
cement.
5, that's probably what the results come back, that it's a match for the one.
And we
The
find
stuff
out
that's
it's a
in the
mammoth
money
there.
pit was also found on the wall in the swamp as well.
Oh, that's
Same
right.
stuff
Yeah.
that matched as well. So all of that matches. So all of that came out of the money pit presumably, and went to, some of it went to Lot 5, some of it went to the swamp.
I mean, you got to put excavated dirt somewhere.
That's correct.
And if you want to
And
fill in a
especially-
feature you're trying to hide, that's probably a pretty good place to put it.
If you want to, well, I think they think that where it was in Lot 5 was either as a base for a
Yeah, I saw it
stove or
from-
something like that. Is that where I got that from? Not from the show.
Yeah, he had made a little drawing
Tom
with the
show. Who
Tom
knows where it
Bird
comes
showing
from?
off the drawing
Right.
on the screen. Yeah,
Right.
that was good. I liked it.
Or if they had a reason to they just wanted to make the floor more solid, or if they needed to, if there was a water issue, so
Right,
they could
yeah,
make it a little
to,
bit waterproof.
waterproof it or dam it or something along those
Yeah.
lines. Yeah, sure. Thank you, sweetheart.
Okay, so these are you're welcome. And so these are these are pictures from the preview for that episode, Harry Situation. And so we get to see a Viking longboat
Nice.
here. And
I mean,
that
just
part looks really familiar.
similar to that piece of handrail they pulled out of the swamp at one time.
Indeed, indeed.
Rounded over like that. Does it have any
Yeah.
square holes in it for pegs?
That I do not know.
Wow.
I'm sure they'll mention it, though.
There's even rope lashed around it to smooth it out.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Nice.
This Lindy making a find here in
Yeah.
Lot 5. I tried zooming in on it. You can't get no telling what that is.
Right.
But I'm thinking that Lot 5
Yeah,
is going to
I
have
think-
something amazing. Because
Lot 5 has
Jamie
been amazing.
Kuba, also on the J Free 906 podcast. That's where Tom Burns is on. And so Jamie JK, exactly. She made it sound like there was going to be a big deal and a lot to talk about with us after the season was over from Lot
She
5.
did. She piqued my
And she did
interest.
say, she did say they wrapped it up though. They were able to. So I'm assuming that means they got to the bottom
Yeah.
eventually.
Well, bottom, and does that mean they uncovered the whole structure? Because I thought that thing was 60 by 40.
I don't know. She said wrapped up, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she
I don't
just
know what
maybe
that
that just means for the season. We don't
Yeah,
we don't
maybe they got
know.
Yeah, figured
I'll
out
text
for that
her.
area.
I'll text her and ask her.
Yeah.
I
call
don't have her. I don't have her.
So I said hi.
Just FaceTime her. So no telling what that is, but apparently that's going to be something interesting.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
assuming you never know.
Ivory.
They sometimes
I'm
get
guessing
you
ivory.
this, and this is Rick saying, okay, we got definite proof that whoever was in the money pit was also on Lot 5, or vice versa. He might have said whoever was on Lot 5 was also in the money pit because of the same clay.
Oh, the clay. Okay.
Right.
Not the,
And
not the artifact we were talking about
No,
previously.
the clay.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm guessing is happening there. And
the ribbon.
here, yeah, it's that ribbon thing, and also where
Yeah.
Doug's finger is, temple cross with the flared out edges on there. And so this,
Did they say what that
round
was?
thing,
They looked at
any idea what that is?
Astro chart of some sort, I'm sure,
Right?
showing positioning of planets and it looks like planets mostly.
They had all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But that looks like a template you could just put on like a machine or something like that.
Yeah.
and it would read it or
Yeah, look
something.
at
I
all
don't know.
the gradation marks on the outside ring there,
Yeah.
just to the very right of the photo.
Oh,
I wonder how many of those
yes.
there are.
It looks
Could
like
there
more than 365,
say? I mean,
doesn't
it
it?
looks like 360 or 365, really.
I mean, wouldn't it? Doesn't it look like more than that though? If you extrapolate it all the way around,
And now
saying
you
that the
give me
center
something
is
to
the circle is the center of it,
do.
and
You've
so
given
if
me
it's that
something to
big,
do.
oh, you're welcome.
I'm gonna have to draw on it now.
I know. Well, you just make your own, if there's not one,
Well, that's
right?
what I do is I basically just like recreate it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Kind of like,
So,
but
not really seeing anything else. I mean, I get what language is that? It's upside down, so it's hard to read. But it might not be. I
yeah.
don't know what language that is. Might be
Oak
backwards too.
League. I mean, Scandinavian or
Yeah, yeah.
Norwegian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know because
Who
that looks like
knows?
Oak League upside down, or I don't know. I don't know languages.
Yeah,
I'll leave it to the experts.
it may be. It may be inside out too. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they reverse these images so that everything's mirrored, kind of, so you
Hmm.
can't really make sense of it.
Possible. That's doing good to come through the other side. If so, though, that's some good ink.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing, but that definitely looks like that
Alrighty.
in the bronze piece.
And here Rick just says this cave might be related to Oak Island. Maybe there's something like on the outside of it or something like that that makes him say that. Don't know what it is. They don't show that. Oh, and hey, look,
Whose hat is that?
there's Scott wearing
I mean, if
Jeffrey
we were filming
906
this
podcast.
tomorrow, I would have my hat.
Right. Well,
He didn't say whether he got it.
you
He
can
didn't
wear
say
it on
whether
the
he got
next one. That's
it. All
right.
right.
He did.
I'm gonna have to save that when I see him in person.
Yeah. Gotcha. You can wear it on the next one, and all
Yeah,
the
there you
rest
go.
of them if you want.
Yeah, well, I like
Let's
this
see. And
one. I'm a hat.
so this is these are
Go
the
Vols.
five. Yeah, the five boreholes that they want to drill to refine the baby blob, I guess.
Yeah, or enlarge it or extrapolate it
Something. I wonder
more.
why they want to do the one inside it. I guess to see how far
Maybe
to
just to
the east
confirm
it
that they're still
goes,
getting
or
readings around that area.
could be. Could be. So nothing in the what is it, E5N-14.5. That's the one that came up with nothing.
Yeah, that was Vonti 1, right?
Right. Yeah. And
And
then
everything was
Bravo
Tissue.
one is up at the top, IN-12.5.
Yeah, and
So
that
that's
one
way up there. And so,
really confuses me on that one.
right. I mean, the best thing that can happen there might be that there's nothing there.
There's no seismic
And
there.
so then you would, right. And so then you would say, okay, there's, we don't need to go more that way. And there's no
Well, I
other.
guess
Go ahead.
technically that is inside the solution channel, but there's no, like in the
Right.
3D
Seismic.
image that he showed us.
Mm-hmm.
I keep getting close, but in the 3D image he showed us,
Yeah.
and this is outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Now C.5N-14.5, that is the one, I don't know if that is the exact one that they drilled before. Do you know? Do you remember?
Yeah,
Where they hit the 7 foot
that's the one
void.
that they showed on the image, the very first image we ever saw of them
Mm-hmm.
kind of cutting into the hill and everything right there. And you shared a picture of them drilling in that area, and I think that's that line. But what was your question? I'm sorry, I may have misunderstood.
The C.5H 14.5
Yes.
dot for that borehole that seems like that's the one that they wanted to drill at 55 feet from inside the garden shaft.
Yeah, I believe that's right. Because isn't that the
Right.
one close to where they had the air blowout when which they
Yes.
thought may have been a
Yeah.
higher chamber
Yeah.
holding air?
And so I don't know if that's the same one or like right next to it or
It's
something.
it's right below. Yeah. So CN 14.5, I believe. Either that, no, it may be B.5 and 13.5, which is just southwest of that. I think
Okay.
is the one that blew out the air.
Okay.
I need
Gotcha.
to note that on here. I don't have the air blow one. I'm trying to
Okay.
figure out myself.
All right. So yeah, I'm hoping for that. As far as I think this is a section where it just like say what you're looking for to come up on the next 2 episodes, and I think that's why I had this on here to just say hopefully they can get all these done. Marty did say in the drilling down, which we're also going to talk about shortly, that doctors Spooner and Michael will be putting in a final verdict on the
Okay.
blob,
On the blob.
the
Okay.
baby blob, to like a final rendition on it. So maybe using the data from all that. And so if there's nothing in all that, then you don't need to change it at all, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the outline stays the same. It
But
would be
depending
interesting
on
to
what
know
they
if
find, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously they didn't find any Avani 1, so that one scratches that any
Correct.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I hope we find.
Even though that would be what? That would be right. That would be up above where the tunnel is supposed to be. That'd be too far north for the tunnel.
Yeah, actually, Avanti is about 7 feet north of where the tunnel is supposed to be at.
Oh, right, because the tunnel is
more right
somewhere
there,
around
yeah.
there where the
Exactly.
8x5. Gotcha.
It goes between.
Okay. I think only you can see my cursor because I didn't remember to make the cursor viewable. That's all right. I'll do that next time. So people can see me when I go like that, but right now only you can. Is that annoying?
Next on the Coach and Zig show.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I can see your cursor, but
Right, I know you can because I'm sharing my personal screen with you.
On the recap that you did.
Yeah, right.
On the looks ahead, looks back.
Gotcha.
Without me.
Alrighty, right.
I'm just kidding. I was ill.
Right. Yes. You can be on any of my stuff you want to be. Ever.
Well, thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right.
It's fun.
So I guess we're done with this. But yeah, I mean, I really hope they're able to do that and drill across because I mean, from drilling down from up above, you can't see where it's going. You can't tell if it's walking and so forth.
Well,
if you can tunnel to something, you know you're going in the right spot because you can constantly see the GPS. So you actually know. So that would be great. So I am hoping that. I understand if they can't get it together for the last few episodes, and I'm sure they'll have it worked out by next season.
Well, you know how all we're gonna hear now is we're running out of time.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Well, they already were doing. They already were saying that.
Yeah, they did it this last one. I laughed. I was like, oh, yeah, we're running out of time already.
That's right. Always. Time and money.
Yeah. One more episode. We knew we were running out of time. Y'all are already done. You're back there soon.
That's right.
You're toying with us.
And there's the, well, we know what that is. We didn't need them to highlight it for us so that we knew what it was. We know exactly what that is.
They spray painted it, I bet.
Yeah.
Shame on them.
Yeah.
No,
and I noticed this. I said this in my looks ahead. No, looks back and ahead. That it looks like it's merging in with the Oak Island logo that's behind it. Yeah, it's interesting.
Ooh, but hey, go back and look at the Oak Island image, and it does look like the cross going down through there too with the pit.
Yeah.
Cool, scary, creepy. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, if you had the S as the head, and the arms are the island, bottom's the body.
That might be a little too deep. Although there's nothing too deep for deep dives.
Nothing too deep.
But we also have the synopsis of the season finale, which is called Worth the Wait. Well, I do like to surprise you at some times.
Yeah, well, thanks. I like surprises.
As winter descends on Oak Island and clues continue to be uncovered, the Fellowship makes a final bold effort to find the treasure before Operation Cease for the winter. And that's Worth the Wait if you're just listening, WEIGHT, which could be for the 60-ton Coney boulder?
16 tons, what
60. 60.
No, I don't think
10. Okay. All right. All right.
Just that song always comes to mind when somebody says 60, what do you get?
So, let's see, where were we? Okay. I got it out of order. Okay, we'll do fan questions first, though. So these were... Beg your pardon?
Go back to the image before of the cross again on the wall. Spray painted yellow. Yeah. So Did you notice, is one of those arms longer than the other one too? I was just curious.
I think so because this
Kind of cut
one
behind
goes
the
past. Yeah,
Jeff's hat is blocking it.
yeah. It still goes. It does go past there a little bit more, so it would be longer. Yeah.
Cool. Just curious.
All right.
That would just be one more connection, right?
Correct. All
Because
right.
look, that one's definitely got a longer arm.
Indeed.
And then I've always asked this, and I don't ever think I've heard an answer, but what is the long line just to the left of the major axis that looks like a hand at the bottom of it that is covered by the Secret of Skinwalker Ranch right now? So in the real image,
Oh yeah, it looks like
it looks like a little hand.
It does.
I mean, every time I look at it, it looks like a little gloved hand or something.
At first, I thought the bottom of it. I mean, it might just be slag on it from the making of it, and they didn't.
Maybe a drip or something.
Right, because we don't know which way it goes. Right, we don't know if it's supposed to lean that way. I'm assuming since the dome carving is like that with it turned that way.
It's lead.
Yeah.
It's lead, and it was found on the beach.
Yeah, true. I wonder if that's...
How much was it tossed around, or, I mean, could it be deformed because of years of being tossed to and fro and being rubbed by rocks and other things?
Anything's possible. I'm not a scientist, unfortunately, so...
More questions for this ignorant soul.
Always. Okay. So, in the drilling down episode that aired after last week's episode called Coney Island. Matty Blake, shout out.
I want to meet that guy one day too.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Oh man,
So they did fan questions. Sorry, go ahead.
I just said he was cool and I'd drink a beer with him.
Okay, absolutely. So they did fan questions. They apparently had done that before. I don't remember that, but they said it had been a while since they'd done any, but they took fan questions for the fellowship. And so the first question is, what is the favorite thing that each individual has found so far? And Craig says it's the lead cross and the fact that the metal comes from a Templar mine in southern France. And Rick agrees and mentioned that was so special to him because he and Gary found the cross 2 weeks after seeing that carving in Dome, France, which is crazy. No such thing as a coincidence. You know that.
Right.
Scott says it's the Stone Road is up there for him.
All significant.
Yeah. Marty says it's the U-shaped structure because that's, again with him, definitive proof that there was significant activity on Oak Island long before the discovery of the money pit.
Yeah. And especially in relationship to where the drains are. I mean, the finger drains. Mm-hmm. And how was this not destroyed when they were blowing up the finger drains is beyond me. But
that's a good point. It depends on where they actually were. Because, I mean, they found them, I think, a little bit more back, a little bit more, behind this structure.
Yeah.
Further inland, but
again, depends on what map of drains you're looking at, and
depends on.
I've been trying to piece that together here recently.
Right, you wouldn't think it would be so hard to find.
Yeah, it's just, I mean.
And they might have. I haven't done the recaps for that where they're ending this search right here, to see how far down close to where they had to wrap it up for the season.
There's another wall structure, I believe, just to the east in this photo, just to the left in this photo, which would technically be south in the Smith's Cove area.
You're talking about right there to the right of the, you can see it, you can see my cursor, you see right there?
Nope, it's actually, it's
longer wall?
It's similar to the U-shaped structure, but it's more of like it's not quite a 90-degree L. It's more like I wish I could point on your screen at the moment.
But it's more of
you start at the bottom left-hand corner of the U-shaped structure.
Okay.
And now come down about 2 feet roughly in scale. Keep coming, right about there, okay?
Okay.
So that's like the end of another wall that goes left to the east there.
Okay, really?
Yeah, it goes about probably another.
Must be buried under here then.
Yeah, I
So
don't think it was
lower.
uncovered image, of course, but it shows up on that Irving equipment map that
Oh,
you showed me.
really? Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
All right. Fun
Again, I
times.
keep trying to piece some of this stuff
Maybe
together. So
yeah, maybe we'll bring that one
here
back.
later we can look at it. Yep.
Okay. So that was Marty's.
Marty's, yeah.
Alex says there's nothing better than finding a coin, so he's going with the Lot 5 Roman coins.
They never mentioned it again, Steve. We
The
talked about how they
Indonesia
yeah, I mean
BC
everybody's talking up
coin.
on Roman and Viking, and it's like
Yeah.
this thing is a BC date.
Well, they don't want to go too crazy with it. Maybe I don't
Well, I mean,
know.
yeah, you take yourself that far back, then you're really digging yourself deep, I
Right,
guess.
right. It's
But
like,
yeah,
well, we
that's
don't want to
amazing to
do
me.
crazy. At that point, you say, okay, the whoever had Roman coins, they could have had some Indonesian coins as well.
Well,
You
again, we
know,
know that
whoever
that whole
stole them from whoever, whatever pirate
either
stole
stole
them
them
from
or were
another
holding
pirate.
them as deposits, or
Yeah.
the Templars dealt in like
Oh, that's right.
currency about their
Yeah.
entire time. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they had different forms of currency.
They would take. Yep. They would take it
Yeah,
from somebody at point A, and then somebody at point B would give them back the right amount.
yeah. So that way you weren't carrying currency across
That's
and
right.
being mugged by
Correct.
highwaymen and all that other stuff.
Correct. And Jack goes with things he personally found when going through the H8 spoils, the bookbinding
Yeah.
and parchment. And Doug
Is
said
that
he,
the
but Brad?
parchment? That's not the parchment that had VI on it, right?
No, no,
That
no,
was
no, no.
that
That
was in
was
Chapel.
in
Yeah,
Chapel.
back.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And they never did find any writing or anything on that parchment, did they? I mean, it looks like it's got ink on
No,
it.
I don't think so. I don't know if
Okay.
they. I don't know if
Never,
they
never
talked
really
to him
heard.
about the guy about the ink. They took another thing that had ink on it. Remember, it had the like purple ink, which he said was like Egyptians, and
Oh,
since
no.
then have used that. It was like it wasn't purple. It was like maybe a half purple, half magenta type of thing. And he said like royals and high officials use that.
Okay.
It was on something. It was on must have been on like another piece of parchment, I guess, that they found.
I'll have to
I
go back
don't
and try and look
remember
it
when that was. That wasn't that long ago.
up. Okay.
That one might have been season 10.
Okay.
All right, and
I'll just wait for your no cap recap.
that's right. I've already done it. I've already done that one.
Are you done that one?
The only things that are
We're gonna go
missing
back and do
are
your
like the
season 10 no cap
middle.
recap.
Yeah, the middle of season 6 through
Hey,
the end of 8. Yep, all the rest of them are already done. And the
you're a
link to the
busy man,
playlist
dude.
will be in the upper right at the end of the video. What? What?
So you're a busy man.
Yeah.
Post a lot of videos. All
That's
good ones too.
correct. Well,
Plus, he's
thank
got
you
great
so much,
financial
sir.
advice.
Thank
too,
you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that. Doug says he's going to surprise you with his answer, and his is every single piece of wood that came out of the money pit that predated the search. And
Sure.
just because it's more validation, and these did as well. I want to say 1600s on these, wasn't it?
On the wood
On the
datings,
log from the
it was like 1500 to
shaft,
1650 or something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah, that was the one where they were in the research center and they got the call about it.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. Yep.
right before they talked to Emiliano about going over and
That's right.
checking out the other alignments, if I remembering correctly.
Correct. All right, and the next question is from a nice couple that asked when are they going back to the eye of the swamp, because that's where all the answers lie, in their opinion. And Rick said it remained an area's interest. Jack asked, did we ever dig to the bottom? And we thought it was clay. He was trying to remember too, and he was there and did it. So
That's what I
you
was
can't
thinking.
blame us if we don't remember every single
I was
little
thinking
thing
they
about.
found a bunch of flat
Okay.
rocks there, and they thought that it could have been a well or something at one time, but
Yeah,
they never came
flagstone
back to
stuff,
anything
right?
more about it.
Right.
They just
do.
love to leave us hanging,
They do. They do indeed.
but that's all right. We still love them.
Right. Alex said, we did, but we've done subsequent digs that suggest we didn't, right? That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
And Craig says they should ask Emma to analyze some of that clay. to see if that's an additional match for assuming the Lot 5 and the swamp and the money pit
Should
area.
be analyzing every clay.
That's right.
That looks good.
That's correct. Well, we know now that we need to do that. Yeah.
Or where did it come from? Because the
whole money pit area, the whole money pit area is in that no cap recap for episode 8, season 6. Terry says that the entire money pit area from about 50 feet up has a bunch of that blue clay in it.
Okay. Because I remember, I know the old story is that it was used as sealant for the logs at 10-foot level.
But he says it's all over there. So
it is natural to that area.
He says it's all over there. He didn't say it was natural, but
anyway, all over.
But Jack said so they dug it out of the money pit and they brought it down here, and Terry said yes, like matter of fact, just yes.
Right. Good old geology.
All right.
Sure.
And the final question was, and you can just give your ideas on this. Do they stop and think about the fact that they are rewriting history with some of the things they are finding? And Rick says he thinks about it all the time. It's what drives him. Jack says they're trying to solve the mystery of Oak Island, but that rewriting history could just be going along with doing that. And just as part of it. And Marty says he thinks they all do think about it, but he thinks it's a bit grandiose to think that they already have. I don't know, because it's just too much stuff. It's just too much stuff they're finding in too many different dates, and nobody was supposed to have been there.
Well, and I really still don't feel like anybody's just sat down and put all the pieces together into a timeline.
Right.
We have all these different dates and all these different artifacts.
They could have somebody on that. We don't.
And you think they would have like one? And I thought maybe that's what.
If they don't, I know 2 volunteers probably that would help them with that.
The female researcher that they.
Oh use Oh goodness, who is that? I can't.
The one that went to
Judy
Valkenburg.
Judy.
Okay, yes. I thought it was Judy. Thank you. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Sorry, Judy.
That's all right.
But I would think that you would have somebody like that doing 100% dedicated research towards just tying the timeline together.
Trying to put it on a timeline. That way you have everything there.
This is the coin, But if you need somebody to come help.
Yeah, that's what I said. I know 2 volunteers that would go. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I have a third guy that works for us he'll come too.
Okay, cool.
He's actually the guy that turned me onto the show, so I'm
wow. All right.
Greg, if we ever come, we're going, buddy.
Okay. Alrighty, so it's about half an hour. That's good for me, for my points.
I guess in my opinion, what is your favorite find of all the finds that they've?
I gotta go cross.
The lead cross?
Yeah, I think so. Because that's just a Templar. Oh, and that's another one. Oh, that's right. I wasn't done. Was I?
Listen, I'm not done with Aladdin's Cave.
Oh, the theories. Matty asked the group where they stand on the theories with just 2 episodes left. Alex says the more recent the theory, the more likely. So he thinks Phipps rather than Templars. What I would like it to be is both of them. And they both have treasure there.
Yeah, and again, we've talked about multi-generational, multi-faction, multi-nationality.
And Templar to Mason, so
Templars
to
the Knights
Belcher.
Baronets, the Hospitallers, the Knights of Malta, all these other people that are still tied to this whole similar organization. Right. Maybe they weren't working for the same leader, but they were all still tied to kind of the same knowledge base.
Because that could be.
And then
that would be crazy if nobody ever took anything out of there. They'd all just put stuff there.
Yeah, and
Crazy,
I mean, I
crazy,
heard a
crazy.
theory a long time ago that it was taken out, and I don't want to be the one that says, "Oh, there's nothing on the island," because I love for
Yep.
there to be something on the
Yeah.
island. But I I've heard a theory that was taken away to help fund the Revolutionary War.
Yes. Yes. That is a
That
definite
they knew about it at
definite
that point, and
theory.
that was
Whole
the whole
idea.
point of having that treasure was to
Mm.
help fund the new nation.
Okay.
So
Except
there you go.
I'll take it back. I'm going to go with a tie between the lead cross and the scientific proof of a lot of precious metals being still there in the water under the money
Screws
pit.
theory and Doctor, and yeah, I
Yep.
mean that
Michael.
whole being able to find gold and silver in the water at those micro levels
Right.
and know that means it's a dump truck. Yeah.
And that
Okay.
means it's still there as well.
Yeah. I'm
Can't
down
can't
for that
be
too.
can't have been gone
And
for like
I'm
in 200 years
fascinated
ago
by
even.
all the science that they've brought to the island.
Yes,
You know,
science.
the only thing that I haven't seen that I would love for them to do is what they talked about one time early on was doing the cryo freeze, where they drive so many different
Right.
pilings around an area, freeze it, and then excavate all that
Excavate it
dirt out from that area at whatever pace you want
and
to.
see what's up.
But my God, that's got to be expensive.
Yes,
That's a lot of liquid nitrogen to have
because
to
that's
keep all
going to
that
take
frozen for as much time as you need to be
right
able to excavate.
because
So,
and you can't big dig
you can't
it.
guarantee it.
You can't big dig it
Exactly.
that way. It's
You
got to
have to have
be
at least a
archaeological.
90% X marks the spot to even try.
Yeah.
So why not do it to the baby blob then?
Yep. I hear you.
Okay, anyway, so I threw my hands up when they said, how do you feel about the whole, how you're affecting history? I think they're totally affecting history.
Of
This
course.
is going to, every piece they find that goes beyond 1492 changes
Absolutely.
the whole concept of
Absolutely.
anything that was ever taught to us in school.
That's true.
And of course, Victor's writing history, so, but they taught us.
As far as theories, Rick says, like he always says, the who, what, when, where, why, and how. And he thinks maybe that thanks to the archaeoastronomy work of Professor Gaspani, that and the multiple star alignments to the 1200s, said that provides a pretty credible when. WHEN. So at least
WHEN.
having started there, right? At least having started on the island at that point. So he didn't weigh in with people. He just said 1200s.
No, I don't blame him. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he tries to stay away from
Yeah.
pointing a finger at somebody and
Yes.
saying, "You did it."
That's right.
He's very analytical.
Jack weighed in saying that all of their trips to Europe has been basically to vet the Templar theory, and they definitely haven't come away with anything saying it wasn't them.
No, I mean anywhere they go to vet that theory, it seems to turn out something Templar
Right.
related,
And to
or
go
sister,
along
or whatever.
to go along with the Templar theory, Doug mentions all the carbon dating they've gotten from the swamp in the 1200s range. The tree stumps that somehow are in a swamp. The paved area. Yeah, double area. And then more in we haven't gotten maybe that's what he's talking about as well. Jack's saying we got more carbon dating from the stumps that they found over by the Teferet Point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, still a lot to know and learn. Will we ever find out? That's another question.
So, but that'd be amazing to me if it was both Templars and Phipps and whoever else wants to drop off treasure there if they did it too. That would be the most amazing thing.
Phipps being the governor of Maine back in like 1692.
Yeah.
On Discord.
Yeah.
It was funny because I was reading a family ancestry book trying to find out more about my family.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And here pops up William Phipps.
That's right.
And I'm like, what is this about?
No such thing as a coincidence.
My mother's family all came from that Maine area, though, and all came over
did they?
Europe back in like the early 1640s. So.
Right. I mean, that's interesting as well too. I know it was like just colonies at that time, but Phipps being born in America and then
going back and convincing
goes to England and says, "Hey,
English. Yeah,
I can find that
I can
ship,
find all this
that
silver
Spanish
that
galleon that's filled with silver. I'm going to find that."
Sounds like a Gary Drayton move.
I'm gonna find that. I wonder if he already found it before he even went to go talk to him, and he just went to talk to him to get resources and stuff, or if he already knew
I
from
don't know.
somewhere.
If you were a cunning person, you might. If you
Right.
were legit,
Right.
you might know. But then
He,
you
he
might
got
not
a
be.
knighthood out of that, dude.
Yeah, he became Sir William Phipps after that.
And
Right?
then he just,
And obviously was the governor of Maine. So how
yeah,
did that?
yeah,
That was after that. So he took all
yeah.
that gold and retired in Maine and said, "I'll become the governor now."
That's right.
Or silver. Sorry.
Right. There was gold
Yeah,
and
I'm
other
sure.
precious metals on it as well, but just mostly
Rubies
silver.
and emeralds and diamonds.
Tons of silver.
Yeah, right.
Yep. A
And he
lot
only
of
brought back
looting.
a tenth of it to them.
Might have been a little bit more than that, but
Was it? Okay.
it
I
wasn't.
don't think
Yeah,
so.
it was about, the second load was about a tenth of what they were expecting based on the ship's manifest. So,
Sorry, couldn't
who
find it
knows?
all.
We weren't there. That's right. That's nothing. Nothing else was there. We got it all.
We got it all. We found it all for you. This is all we could find.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, William Phipps. But anyway, I
They
just thought
let
that
him
was
leave if he became
awesome.
governor of Maine. After that, they let him leave.
Yeah,
They
right. Let him
might have
come
believed
back.
him.
Okay, he found it all. Let's let him go.
Right.
And they didn't have anybody follow him. Right. Well, I mean, it'd be hard to follow someone.
Yeah.
Put a tracker on him.
All right, so that's enough of my yakking. So I know you people want to see maps and such, and layers, and et
Oh
cetera,
yeah,
et
so
cetera.
I thought we could just go back and talk about a couple of the areas we just talked about.
Okay.
Got to go from there.
I need to
Okay,
maximize
where you want it?
that. Well, come on. Go full screen, please. There we go. Yep, we're good.
Okay. Let's see. I guess. So you guys have seen the overall map. This is basically, I was over here on the right. I'm working on the U-shaped structure. In the middle, I was trying to verify some things about the seismic and stuff going on, and then up here, I was trying to confirm the Hyades alignments, cairns, and I'll just kind of talk about that first.
Okay.
So you see, I have star here,
Mm-hmm.
and the other three are here, 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 where my alignments are here. So again, laying on the ground, skewed a little bit, very close. So not exact, but very close when you come to like a 6-point alignment. So yeah, could be Hyades. I'm kind of playing with Taurus, like Christopher Morford has presented on Facebook here recently. I don't really have that up. I do have this that I'm kind of trying to figure out what the constellation is, which stars are which.
I did see that, and he didn't have it. He had it with, I think, 2 legs were in the bay. The 2 legs were in the bay. He didn't have it lined up like Dr. Taylor did in season.
Yeah, is this the small
6?
Yeah,
I think that was
the small one. Well, maybe. Anyways, I'm sorry. So I'm playing with that some.
Okay.
Still trying to make alignments and do some things. What I was going to do is go back and talk about the boreholes that we were talking about earlier on.
Yeah.
And what I have up here, excuse me. So this is Jeremy Church's 3D in a 2D sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
Seismic.
a snapshot of his 3D.
Seismic, right?
The colored areas you see here are that solution channel and those voids that we were talking about, and he kind of flew us through. This is at a certain level. In fact, yeah, because here you can see Aladdin's in this as well, with the 2 forks.
Yeah.
And now, hold on, I may misspoke. Is this Muon? No, this is seismic, because this is the horse he was showing us. Yeah, that's right. But what I wasn't seeing was his little teardrop shape anomaly in this. But that's in another layer of the model, I believe. So
Okay, if I ever correct you on anything about a map That's when you probably have to go see a doctor.
Oh, well, I'm no expert. I've just been doing it for a long time.
All right.
So I've worked for engineers, worked for surveyors, been looking at lots of images, lots of maps over my life. I'm basically a glorified CAD guy, but that's what my degree says I am. My experience says that I'm a lot more than that. But
You helped me
uh,
find 10x, so
yeah. I mean,
I
and
appreciate
again, when
that.
we're talking about 10x. The green here is the solution channel.
Yeah.
So 10x is within that solution channel. And when people talk about tunnels and pathways, and I mean, we're talking about this outline is probably very, very, very hard sedimentary raw or whatever that conglomerate. What did he call it?
Conglomerate.
No, carbonate.
That's the. Oh. Okay.
It's carbonate, so it's the stuff that can still dissolve, the limestones and that can break down, and all that's sitting on top of that eastern drumlin. So that is the void that is created by. Now this could all be filled with water and slurry and wood and crud and everything else, but that outline right there is what shows kind of where that void is. So you see my yellow lines coming across the screen. Well, that's that proposed tunnel location, right? And of course, I have it extending way to the west or the east. We don't know that it goes that far, but that's just me speculating. I've stopped it this far to the west because the last drilling location that we have for it is DN8 that showed wood on that in that location. Yeah. But what we were talking about during the early show is this is Avanti 1. The E.5N 14.5 is the actual tag number for it. They called it Avanti 1. That's the one they didn't find anything in.
Right.
Which is a little surprising to me because it is inside of that, voided solution channel area. So that was a little surprising to me. And they didn't say they didn't find anything, they didn't say anything significant. So they found situ, clay, natural things, right?
No voids though. I think they would have said. Right?
Well, yeah,
I think he
so.
just Terry said in situ soil. All the way down. So
that a little bit surprises me, but maybe this is just a little bit not quite where it's supposed to be. So in fact, I want to do something here real quick.
Okay. This is layering in action.
Yeah, and then that's kind of it was a fuzzier one, but it's a little better overall. What I never did figure out from all that was what this purple boundary was supposed to be to all of them. Kind of strange.
That's from the seismic 3D?
Yeah, it's off of the image that's showing the seismic stuff. So the seismic 3D. And you know what, Steve? Don't quote me on that.
I won't.
I still want to verify that whether that's the seismic or the muon. I've got those layers named crazy. And it was from early on when Jeff was kind of sending me images of muon and seismic at the same time, and I was confused. What's muon? What's seismic? Hold on, I know what it is, but let me figure this out. Hold on.
You're just saying it to everybody on YouTube. That's all. It's fine.
Yes, no, it's okay. Everybody, again, I'm just a professional.
Right.
So, like we were talking about, Bravo 1. Bravo 1 is inside the solution channel, which is this green outline that I've just highlighted.
Which is probably why it was a choice to drill in.
Right, a part of the drilling, right? It was just outside of that, and this cyan line, I think you can still see it, that kind of represents that horseshoe of what was the 3D representation. And again, I can't remember if that's from the muon or from the seismic.
Well, you'll have to get back to us on that, sir.
I will. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
So, Baby Blob.
I'll write a note. So I remember to ask you. Go ahead.
And so we know we found nothing here. We haven't heard about here yet. We still want to drill here. And again, to me, that's inside the solution channel, but outside kind of that 3D range. So I guess they're just, again, wanting to test water to see if there's levels in there. But one of the things I was noticing So again, see all these white dots down here?
Yes, sir.
Now I don't have all the boreholes on this map. I have
Good.
every one that I have been able to find or track down or whatever. But I think it's very interesting that like there's only LN4 up here. Why did they never? There's CN4 right here, but look at how bare that is of borehole. That whole area right
No idea what they found in it. No
there.
wood,
Yeah,
or you'd have it
I mean, when they were
brown, right?
showing these little shaded areas on the map, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to focus on these areas because we haven't drilled there." It's like, guys, I realize you're trying to expand your area. Oh, and maybe the thought is go between the garden shaft and the baby blob. And so anyway, we're just all guessing. So
Indeed.
we'll find out. But that's my take on that right there. I was telling you I was working on. This is that Irving equipment drawing you sent me that you screenshot. And okay, hopefully you can see it. Does the blue show up well on your screen? Because I can change the color.
Blue. Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just one line of blue, right? Coming out of the yellow. Yeah, we can see that.
Okay, so that's drain lines from a survey, and then the yellow is also drain lines from another survey. Okay, so you can see there's already kind of a difference in the way they're even represented. This one shows 4, or it still shows 5, but this one shows like 6, and it's the one that looked more like the menorah, and also had this drain line on that survey as well. I'll look for the image later and pull it up and get back to y'all on what that is. But this Irving map actually shows the case on. Again, it's skewed, so I did my best to kind of proportionalize it. The yellow was in fact, everything I just selected there is off of the Irving equipment drawing. I had another drawing from, the image. That's right. Let me see here. Layer. Yeah. UShaped. Yeah. So I had these images of Smith's Cove with the cofferdam in place, as well as a very good top-down image of the structure. So if you can make sense of that, I've pretty much aligned all that, even the equipment or Irving equipment drawing, to get where it is right now. So what we were talking about earlier, and let me do this again. I'm gonna turn those off. Just a second, I just wanted to give you that relationship. This is that other little wall that I was talking about. So it's right here. I haven't drawn it on there, but it almost looks like that one was intended to try and cut off the first part of maybe the drain lines. Oh, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine because it looks like there's another little, and then this is the wharf that went out, the flat area that went all the way
Slipway.
out.
They called
Slipway.
it. Yeah.
Right. That's right. And again, angles are a little different because this is laying down a little bit, so you can kind of get the idea. The top-down view looks like that, and that looks like that, and this probably extends a little further. And anyway, you get what I'm trying to say.
Yes, sir.
So again, from that solution channel that Jeremy shared with us, see that green line I just highlighted again? That's all. Okay, so that's cave-in pit. That's the drain areas. So that means that all this is like down 150, 160 feet and is all cavernous. So that's all been dynamited and blown up and everything. So there's no there's no reason why there's lots of water coming in here, in my opinion, because you got a big gaping hole here at the end of everything.
Do you have 10x on that? Just
I guess if
curious.
I was shooting, try and do something, I might come beyond the solution channel, like right here, and try and put a wall or a dam, cofferdam, to block that off. But that's me. And then let's see, what else were we talking about? So many things.
Sig.
So let me go to this real quick. I just posted this to Facebook. This is why can't I remember the name of that place? It is Madsabake. Is that how you say that?
Yes, sir.
And it sounds good, anyways. And
Can you hear me?
yes,
Okay, great.
yes, I can. I'm trying to figure out why I can't get back into. Oh, there it is. Okay. Anyway, I just posted this on Facebook. So this is kind of my thought on what the 4-dot cross is there, because it had. In fact, I think it was Henry DeWitt that said it had 16 dots around the outside. I originally thought I counted 15, and that would have made it 24 degrees, which kind of made me think of like day separation. But then if it's 16, that actually breaks down to 22 and a half degrees. So that is basically a 16 wind compass rose, and each of those dots could represent a direction. So I'm not really sure if we know how this is aligned. I wish I knew which way was pointing north in this image, because that might even give you like further alignments to other things. I don't know, I mean, was this put here as a starting point, so then okay, well, go to the third dot from the first line and then go one more dot, and then that's the direction you want to travel. I don't know, but I thought it was really cool. Thought it was really cool that it matched a 16 wind compass rose. And then yeah, and then Christopher Morford just posted some more additional information about these 4 dots could actually represent the 4 seasons, and 4 of the major constellations that represent the 4 seasons. And he called that. Nope, I don't have it out. It was Bellatrix.
I had myself muted so they didn't hear the
Oh, did you?
paging Dr. Gaspani, or Professor Gaspani. Sorry, Professor.
I thought it was great. I could hear you. I
Yeah,
just chuckled.
yeah, yeah. I didn't
Where
mute
did?
Discord and muted the stream myself on the stream though because I was coughing for a little bit there.
Gotcha. Let me. Maybe he posted that on his page.
But yeah, I mean, maybe if they're smart, they're letting him know everything that they're finding out and where exactly it is. Give him GPS on everything that they
Yeah, it's
find.
Gaspani. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I hope that Emiliano and Gaspani are
Hmm.
getting every coordinate location. I hope somebody put a.
Emilio was too cold to do anything there. He was
Yeah,
freezing.
it
My
definitely
boy
looks
was
chilly.
freezing.
That's for sure. It looks like it's cold in Nova Scotia still right now. Anyway, I can't find it.
All right, we can come back to it.
Gotcha. So moving on, let me see. Oh, this is all my other. Oh yeah, and I mentioned in Discord the other day that I actually got to talk to Christopher Morford in Messenger, and I
Right.
had sent him. Oh, what did I send him? Something where we got into the conversation about 5 and 8, and so this is. He sent me this above, which is copywritten by this gentleman back in 2013. And of course, I went ballistic with it. And this is the Fibonacci sequence, the 60 number Fibonacci sequence around the outside here. So 0, 0, 0, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 5 is what, 13?
Yes. Good job.
Right. And then I don't know how the single numbers break down after that. Or maybe it's just the second digit. So then it's 8, 3 is 11.
Mm-hmm.
So they get to 1. Of course, then again, 3 and 1 is 4. 4 is 5. So that just keeps building that sequence. And that's all based on the golden ratio, otherwise known as the Fibonacci sequence. And that also kind of relates to this image that he sent me up above. So what I did was I kind of drew it, because I like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can see how the 8-pointed Maltese cross is everywhere there's a 5. So if you go to the first 5, make a point. Let me see if I can highlight this to the front. What? Yeah, okay. So you can see the purple a
More
little better.
magic. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you start at the first 5-point and you draw to the center and then go back to the 5-point and then, okay, and this actually is, I think you can see the intersection of this 4-pointed star, which is a drawing of, God, I can't remember how this works. I hate math. Maths. Should have been better at maths.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyways, so you kind of see what I'm doing. I just kind of took
Yeah.
all the geometries. I even took the 8-pointed star, which is in green, which came from the image from couple of episodes ago. Not the 8-pointed star that is this 8-pointed star, but the 8-pointed star that is this 8-pointed star. And again, stars everywhere. Sacred geometry is so crazy. In fact, I found this image. This was apparently drawn by John Coltrane, who is a very famous jazz musician, and he was always very interested in the relationship between math, music, and geometry. And this kind of shows all of the chords and the different, I guess it's the different. I'm not a musician. I mean, I love music and I have a horrible voice. So
I don't let
I
that
have
stop you.
played instruments throughout time, but I've forgotten how to play them. It's not like a bike, I don't think. I don't know. I've never really tried to pick some of them back up. But anyway, again, just playing with different things I find. There's so many different theories and little deals that come out all the time. Oh, yeah, he sent me this too about the 5-pointed star when we were talking about the numbers being the 36 and the 72. Of course, we know 72 is that fine number that the Latin rule, I believe, that John Edwards introduced to us to at first, which kind of is the layout of the Nolan's cross. Oh yeah, there's our little ribbon image,
There it is.
you know. And again, so I was drawing what I kind of thought I saw. I think some people think this might actually go like a half moon right there with a really actually a full circle with a hole in it. And then this may even have a hole in it. But this was my first attempt. So. And then I tried to flip it over to see if it made any difference. And
Right, because we don't know which way it's supposed to go.
yeah, we don't know which way it's supposed to go. Kind of feel like it should go this way, but I don't ever think I've shared this, but I always kind of thought maybe this could be, that fish has been used for like the Christian fish. Uh, Crap, why can't I think of the name of that right now?
I don't
And
know either.
then of course this is gold or the sun. So I was thinking, what if that's God, Christ? This is the Eye of Odin. What if this is like Hades in the underworld, where there would be no representation? But that's again just me. I'm no expert. I'm just thinking out loud, doing a lot of thinking out loud. Right. Ichthys. Ichthys is the name of that Christian fish.
Good job. Did
Thanks.
Did you think of it Or did you Google it?
Well, I don't know. You guess.
Thought of it?
No, I couldn't think of it. I had to Google it. I'm quick with the keyboard. So yeah. So Steve, I don't know what else you want to talk about. I mean, I think that's a lot already,
Mm-hmm. That's
and
exactly an hour.
good. We're getting pretty good at that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I ever showed you this, but in the layout of the cairns, if you so 429E, they call it the 429 extension, I think, because originally it was 429 from CD to CE, if I'm not mistaken.
I was wondering about
So
that.
yeah, and this is another thing that I picked up kind of off of dot to dot, and I don't know exactly where he got that information for him. I just kind of followed his thought process, and that's kind of what helps lay out the cairns. So, but it is if you still do the 144 offsets, that's still 144. That's still 288 from here. So it's not technically 429 anymore. That's what 144 plus 288. You're the math guy. What is that?
What is it? 144?
144 plus 288. 432.
32? Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that would be really like the 432E, but that's what he always called it, 429.
Mm.
But again, so what was interesting in laying out the cairns is I noticed that if you came directly south of the 429 extension and you came directly east of Kone, that triangle created by those points and intersections is half of what they called Solomon's triangle. So that's an equilateral triangle with 60, 60, and 60. And that was talked about in the Jerusalem files that they found under the city of Jerusalem, where they thought originally the menorah and the Ark of the Covenant had been kept. So anyway, that was back kind of when I was trying to look for that specific triangle, and I was like, oh wow, it's right there. And then I also did that with the cairns too. I'm just kind of explaining what my purple lines are here. And purple a lot of times to me means I'm just I'm just speculating or just trying to kind of guess where things are. So green's a lot of reference, and purple is a lot of still a mystery, or I know something's there, but it's not real accurate. Just me trying to speculate something. So excuse me. All right, my man. Well,
Yep.
oh, and I don't know if I showed you these, but I kind of tried to locate. You remember the ice holes? No,
Yeah.
I didn't call you. I called you. I said ice holes. Yeah. So anyway, those are the four dots that were supposed to represent where those ice holes were found. And I never really went much further with those. You know, they never. That's another thing I don't really think. We talked about that last time about things that they go to and they never really come back to. And I think that's one of them. The freshwater well, and apparently there is a well here from the Restall map as well. I would like confirmation on that, please. We need somebody to
Yeah, I
go
don't
out
know.
there stat. All right, well, you guys. Oh, and then this is your. Let me see if I can find that image real quick. Swamp Road. Money Pit Swamp Road. What do I call that? Bear with me. Sorry.
No problemo.
Ah, there we go. Swamp Road. Would you send me this image? I think it was.
Yes.
And so I went. And let me clean this up just a minute.
That was, I don't remember when that was from.
Uh, yeah. Well, it was here recently. I think it was. These are from the Paul Troutman photos, I believe. Isn't that right?
Yes.
The family photos of Paul Troutman's. I'm turning off the
That's right.
boreholes. I'm turning off the rest all stuff real quick. Sorry, I say real quick a lot.
That's right.
Uh, that okay. So when you sent this to me, I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? It
Right.
is an aerial photo. It's got a little bit of a skew to it again. Da, 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 da. So I tried to figure out where I thought the bottom of the head and shaft was, because that's what this is. That it was known that they had, and then as far as I can tell, I think this is the chapel shaft right here. Uh, so I again tried to line those up as best that I could, and you can see I did a pretty damn good job of getting them real close to where
I
they
would say
are. Okay, so if that's the case, then
Money Pit
we're
does
talking.
not look like that anymore. Money Pit area.
No, it's what Dunfield ruined all this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Maybe even
Yeah,
before that.
look at that. They had like, is that railroad track or is
That's for
that
mine carts.
pathway? Yeah, mine carts. Okay, for like hauling out
Hmm?
excavated dirt, sure. And I'm sure that's what all this is just spoil from out of the head and shaft. So look at all that wood piled up right there. There's debris and other things. There's something little outbuilding right here sitting there too. But anyway, we were getting back to the that what looked like a stone road,
Yes. Going towards the
and
swamp.
then kind of how it relates to. Oh, let me turn this off. Hey, can I turn? Oh, so you can see. So we know that there's kind of a ridge line that runs right here. So it's very possible that that is running up the hill. You know, it intersects with where that
Ramp.
road.
Where the ramp
Because
was.
yeah,
Right?
where the ramp. Yeah, because here's the stone road in the swamp. My outline of it, and then what? Alex and Peter later went and did some GPR stuff up in this area
Yes. Yeah.
and found that it kind of continued up that way. So it's very possible
Hmm.
those could intersect each
Yeah.
other. I mean, it's not out of the question.
I guess
It
here's what
comes
I noticed looking at that picture the other day. Can you go in on
yeah
that more?
on the picture.
The one I sent you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you raise it up any?
come
Because
out.
on the
Yeah.
screen it's behind our images and stuff. Can you
Oh,
just like scroll
oh,
up on that
let
a
me
little
come up.
bit? There we
Right.
go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
so if you in the lower left, I thought maybe it's kind of like a circle. Some of those rocks, I might just be seeing stuff.
Oh, oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah,
That kind of almost makes an arc, doesn't it?
yeah,
Huh. Let's see.
just something for you to look at.
If I draw a picture or a circle with a 3 point there, there, and there. How about that?
Whoa! I just solved it. You're welcome.
There's the
You're
money pit
welcome,
right
ladies and
there.
gentlemen.
I mean, how? Hold on a second. Now I got a question
Okay, we're gonna
because
be
now I
here another half hour now.
here real quick because
I'm
maybe
sorry. I'm sorry,
you
everybody.
may you may be really close to like I know Mitchell Adler's is out in the water a little further, but that would be so wild. Oh, let me turn these on real quick. Oh wow.
I just noticed it, and if you see something, say something. Am I right?
Yeah, that's good. You should call out things like that. I'm gonna leave that on there because to me that's good catch. I mean, look at how close those two fall to each other. And all I did was pick three of them, and they yeah. And I mean, who knows if these got moved or these got
Who?
kicked or
Exactly.
or
There's some
and of
kind
course they're
of
not
what?
there.
What kind of is that? Drainage
What's
going
that? The
through there?
purple?
No, the line that goes through that circle.
Oh, this here. Oh, the red.
No,
The red. Well,
it's.
sorry.
I think it's on the land itself. It might be a drainage ditch or
Is
something.
that this dash line right here?
No, the
Oh,
actual
on
in the soil.
the
I think
land
it looks
itself.
like.
Yes, that looks like a ditch or a
Okay.
drain line.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, but man, wow.
Just something else for you to think about. Keep you awake at
Thanks.
night. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I'll be sleeping good tonight, man. I haven't
And
slept
it's the
for a while.
same size as your CH1 circle. That's probably it.
Yes.
That probably's got
Yes,
nothing
it
to do with
is.
it.
And I mean, I think that's just coincidental, as we know. Yeah, that's a
There's no
30.
such thing as a Gibbs Rule 39. No such thing as a coincidence.
That circle, 31.4.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Steve. That's pretty wild. Yeah, 30 and 20 and 10 are just kind of numbers I use when I'm putting circles on, depending on how close I am or how far away I am.
Gotcha.
It gives me, well, I mean, now everybody else knows, but it
It
gives
makes
me a
it,
relation.
yeah, it makes it a nice schematic
A
as well.
yeah, nice round number, and I can see, okay,
Yeah.
there's a radius. So if anything was left, right, or center of that, where would it be? Yep. So, wow. I mean, there's definitely pretty wild, Steve.
Could look at this stuff for hours.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I
People
think
think we're
that's.
kidding when we're saying we would watch every bit of footage they have on the
Oh,
show
we would. Yeah, I mean, listen, if they need somebody to go through all their edited footage
and see
and
what
put
people would be
together
interested in.
yeah,
Yeah,
and put together a compilation reel director's cut, I mean, Steve and I are your guy, man.
right.
We would sit in a room. You give me Dr. Pepper and cigarettes, and I'll be fine.
Volunteer for so much stuff. Yeah.
I know, and I wouldn't get paid for any of it. And
I
then my
mean,
rent, my bills would
no. I
go
mean,
all, yeah,
you can
yeah.
pay us a little bit.
If only
Yeah,
I was independently wealthy.
that's right. Then you do it. Then you do it for free. Then you get to definitely do what you love. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If anyone would like to sponsor me, feel free
Yeah.
to reach out.
There you go.
YouTube.com
Flush
/ Don Capo Productions.
Productions. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. And check out my other videos. Please subscribe, like, comment. Do the same for Steve. Thank you all for
Thank you.
watching. This is
Absolutely.
always fun. We'll have more coming soon, I'm sure, as they develop
Yes.
more. And then also keep an eye out for us on the J Free 906 podcast, because he has told us that he would like to invite us sometime during the off season to come and conversate with him. So that would be a whole lot of fun. And I'll have my J Free hat by then.
There you go.
Well, we
Should
have
be cool like
Steven-
Scott Barlow.
Say again. Oh yeah, I know.
Be
If
cool
only
like Scott Barlow.
there while we have the conversation, that would be cool too.
Absolutely.
I wish we could have a podcast with like 30 people and just everybody just take turns. No,
That'd be fun.
that would be pretty chaotic, actually.
To be in charge of it. I would
Let's
take
all just
part
meet
in
in
that,
Nova
but I don't want
Scotia.
to control it. It's hard
Yeah,
enough with me just controlling it with you and I.
let's just
And
all plan a time to meet in Nova Scotia and have a J Free 906 conference and expeditionary
there you
force.
go. They got a
And
big
then
they got a big
if
concert
you bring
hall there
30 people
somewhere.
to the island for a tour, they got to let us on, right?
No, they don't.
We'll have J Free with us.
They don't have to.
No, they don't. All right, well, there
Yep.
it is, folks. That's where I'm at so
Alrighty.
far. So I really haven't worked on the drawing much the last couple of weeks,
Right.
or this last week, just because of illness and work and everything else.
We'll
So,
let it go. I think
hey,
we had plenty of stuff to talk about. So, and we even went over 15 minutes past the hour. So, just because I saw something different, something else.
yeah, that was actually a good catch. I'll just keep that
You
there.
will. You will.
Put that on my mystery layer.
That's right.
Huh.
So, and hopefully we'll be able to do these during the summer. Maybe not every week, but
Well, I
whenever
think
we
that
have stuff to
as
talk
we
about,
discover
because
new
there's always
info and
stuff to talk about.
yeah, definitely. We didn't even have anything planned for tonight, and we went an hour and 15
Yep.
minutes. So
Exactly.
very good.
Alrighty.
Peace,
So-
love, and Oak Island.
Exactly. For Zig, I'm Steve. This has been Deep Dives number 3. Siempre avanti.